Assalamu alaikum, very good morning. This is my second lecture in urban transport. Today I would like to share my knowledge about urban transport study. In any urban transport study, we have 5 components in that study. First, of course, the preliminary study. We want to know roughly the situation and roughly about the situation of the city. And the second one, auditing existing situation. And the third one, action plan. This is actually short-term plan which can be implemented quite easily. And we have long-term plan. And lastly, but not least, is an implementation plan. Let us talk one by one. In preliminary study, we have to set objective, what we want to do with our transport, and decide the study area, and determine organization to carry out the study, and collection of existing data and information. We can buy structure plan from that particular city, or we can get existing land use and existing socio-economic data, population from our statistical department, and of course existing traffic volume from public work department. And we have to zone our study area because we want to know the origin and the destination of each trip in that study area. So we draw out zone in that study area. We use map, of course. We try as much as possible. The zone must be homogeneous in land use and socioeconomic, and we can draw the border of the zone, each zone, using we use road as a border, or river or railway line, to minimize ingress and egress to that to the zones. And as far as possible must be identical with national census or election zoning, so we can get the data, socioeconomic data, easily. And the centroid of this zone must be easily located. In one of our study, this is what we look like. What zoning in the study area. Actually, this is part of our study area for Malaysian multimedia super corridor. This is I think from the map we can guess this must be Putrajaya. So Putrajaya we can divide into a few zones, so we can estimate the origin and destination pair for this zone, for this traffic study. And for the second one, the second activity, auditing existing situation, we want to evaluate existing transport situation based on observation. This is based on observation. First, we have to select important issues. This one quite tricky because sometimes we don't know that area, so we have to go to see the people and ask them what's the main concern of them, and of course the authority who hired us. And we can carry out traffic survey and determine threshold and seeking local user perception, because sometimes if we come from big city, we assume people in the smaller city think the same thing with us, but naturally it's not the same. And this is my experience when we went to Labuan Island a few years ago. To them the traffic is already quite bad, traffic jam here and there, but to us from Kuala Lumpur there's no traffic jam. But to them, if they cannot pass through the traffic like within one cycle, this is traffic jam already. For us 3 or 4 times is still okay. And then identify problem, of course, and then we prioritize the problem and we put the problem statement. At the same time, we can observe the city, the opportunity and constraint for the improvement. And in our observation report, we can write something about the road link, number of lane, number of the traffic speed roughly, you know, and then the intersection, what of time intersection, regulation, public transport, the station, bus lane. Sometimes the bus station quite far from the people, no bus lanes, pedestrian crossing, and we can get what is the people's say about that pedestrian area. Sometime from the police report we can see, oh, the area is actually accident prone area, and many people died already. And of course, land use, usually the high density land use, high rise building will generate more traffic or more trips. And of course, road safety, type of accident is very important, especially for the pedestrian. And we can set threshold. Remember just now I said when I went to Labuan, once if they cannot pass through the traffic like within one cycle, they set traffic jam. So their threshold quite low, but to the big cities, 2 or 3 cycles is still okay. For their threshold quite high. So in this case, let's say we can put 220 second threshold. So if the delay is more than 120 seconds, then traffic congestion. And the accident also the same thing here. So in some country, especially the very crowded city, one person dies, for them is nothing. But in some area, one people died, it's already become a noise, big noise. So we have to put threshold, and of course, and then the noise. In some area, the noise level is different with the other area. Especially, you can see the high income group people, usually they are very sensitive with noise compared to the low density area. So in this case, we can say the noise must be less than 70 decibel. And from our observation, we can plot or we can draw the problem statement. So our client or non-traffic engineers can see this one more clearly. So with the red arrow, that means congestion, and delay exceed 120 seconds. And then the third one, we prepare an action plan. We can identify a problem, let's say for pedestrian crossing, dangerous pedestrian crossing, and intersection unbalanced queue length. This is quite simple problem which we can solve easily. And then determine the hierarchy, identify action, and evaluate effectiveness. So if effective, we can go down. If not effective, we can go back to identify again the action plan. If positive, we determine side effect. Or whatever we will do, there will be side effect, and formulate action plan. Yeah? So in action plan, we can look into our road system. We can put this hierarchy again: primary distributor, district distributor, local distributor. So in primary distributor, no houses frontaging this road. So if there is there are a few houses frontaging this road, we have to do something about that. And of course, and then traffic management. Sometimes we have to take out roadside parking because it causes traffic jam in the road system. And road repair. Sometimes we just repair the road, we can get better traffic. And of course, traffic control. Sometimes because of the green time is not properly set, you can see the unbalanced queue length. And traffic restraint. Sometimes we restrain the traffic is better than just let it go. Car park policy, we can reduce car park to reduce congestion. Less car park, that means less attraction, so less car on the road. Heavy vehicle restraint, because heavy vehicle is slow moving, so it will slow everybody in that road system. Bus priority, It depends our policy. If we want to more people use bus, then we have to give bus the priority in our traffic system. Improvement of bus operation, and of course road safety. This is action plan. This one actually we can carry it out fast and quite cheap. And seeking local user perception, because we want to know the local perception. We want to reduce conflict with the local users, because whatever we do, the local user will use our plan. And then of course to facilitate data collection. And for the long-term plan, we have to determine our policy, whether we want to have more less carbon on the air, so that means less car on the road. And then we develop our model to forecast to the future. In transport planning, we look into the future using model, not crystal ball. And of course we use the model to forecast future transport demand, and we propose facilities to cope with the demand, and we have to calculate the cost, because without costing we cannot do anything. And we evaluate each proposal to determine the best solution, and of course we put investment priorities. And policies, we can set economic efficiency, let's say for to carry out more goods to the port, so you need highways to the port, or maybe we want to reduce congestion, and social policy. For example, we want to give everybody good mobility. The poor and the rich, they can go anywhere in the city with the affordable price. And development policy, we want our road or our facilities to influence development. So, for example, for this new North Klang Valley Expressway, last time nothing there, but because of that road, the highway, the corridor become developed quite fast, in fact very, very fast. And environmental policies, we want to reduce carbon dioxide, we want to reduce global warming. So this is one of the opportunity we can set that policy. And in terms of model development, it involves usually four-step transport model: trip generation, trip distribution, the modal split, and trip assignment. We will have this. We'll discuss this one in detail later on. And for trip generation, we estimate what's the number of trip going out from every area, and how many trip attracted to any area. And in the trip distribution, we want to know if this a number of trips going out from this zone, how many people will go to this destination, to the second destination, the third destination. And in the modal split, we want to know the mode of transport of the trip makers, maybe whether they want to use their own car or motorcycle or bus or public or rail-based transport. And the third one, the trip assignment, we assign the trip into transport network, existing transport network, or future transport network. And for forecasting future transport demand, we use our model, the developed model, to see the future demand. And based on that demand, we can propose transport facilities, something like this, like rail-based transport, which is based on the demand. Okay. Once we identify the project to cope with the new demand, for the future demand, we have to estimate the cost, because without costing we cannot do anything. So first we have to know the construction costs, and then the professional cost, about 3 to 5%, and then land acquisition costs, compensation costs, and relocation of public utilities. So in evaluation of each proposal to determine the best solution, of course the first thing we have to look at the project cost. If too expensive, we can afford to carry out the project, and then whether the project solve our problem, and then the financial return. If the return is not good, we better don't carry out the project. Thank you very much.